According to Mythos, 100% of you are subscribed. Good job. As someone that loves endgame content, and in particular, challenge mode within video games, the Divergent Universe always delivers, and the Protean hero has been quite an experience if I do say so myself. Something that I think that I genuinely adore about this new Divergent Universe is how flavorful it is. They went all in with making the occurrences, the design, the gameplay be specifically themed towards Anthorius. Something that I feel like we didn't get the luxury of back when we were in Penacony, which, to be fair, it makes sense because it was the very first iteration of the Divergent Universe that we had received, and in all honesty, I am a huge fan that it didn't have a thematic. In particular because it made it be universal. The chapter was called The Human Comedy, and as such, they decided to just focus on the general existence of the universe. And with it, I do like the fact that there were some occurrences here and there that had a little bit of lore. I didn't go through all the occurrences, and now that they're gone, I'm a little bit upset. But what I did get to go through was going through every single equation. A lot of them provided a lot of world building and a lot of new context to the world that I would have never thought of, but I'm happy that now I know that these are potential things that exist within the universe. I had so much fun going through them and hearing your guys' comments about them, and I will be doing the equations for the Protean hero shortly. Sadly though, I had to deal with a lot of assignments, group projects, and other real-life shenanigans that took time away from me. But if all goes well, I should be back soon, which I'm very hyped for it, in all honesty. However, during this break time, I've taken the liberty to try to learn more about Anthorius' lore, as well as being able to fully experience what the Divergent Universe's Protean hero has to offer, because I did want to make a video with my honest opinions about the gameplay and what the changes have been for the Divergent Universe. There are three things that I want to mainly talk about throughout this video, and these ones are gameplay, difficulty adjustments, and the threshold protocols. And that last one, boy oh boy, I have a lot of things to talk about. Starting off with gameplay, I really enjoy the fact that they decided to sort of rework the system without fully changing the core elements of the Divergent Universe, or simulated universe, so to speak. And I want to mention right there the simulated universe, because even though I really loved the design of Herta's unknowable domain, the fact that we no longer had blessings felt really weird for me. I'm not sure if anybody else felt that way as well, but mind you, the unknowable domain is still one of my most fun gameplays that I've ever experienced. It just felt weird calling it a simulated universe. But that is the reason why I do still enjoy the way that they made this Divergent Universe. They decided to still stick with the concept of blessings, but then they built upon that. They added the golden boons, which, in my opinion, have been a really amazing addition into the game, but also really confusing. Dealing with the whole day-night cycle is weird. Like, I'm glad that there's a visual representation of when the day and night will change. Managing it is a bit confusing. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Like, being able to do more damage or be more powerful during a very specific time frame sounds amazing, and in all honesty, it is. It is actually one of the mechanics that I wanted Honkai Star Rail to implement into the game, and I love the fact that they implemented it in this way. I talked about it in one of my past videos. However, I do have a gripe with the way that both day and night have been designed, because I feel like one of them is a lot stronger than the other. So, to add more context, the way that day and night works without the use of any boons is really simple. During the day, at the very beginning, you restore 30% of your max HP, and then whenever it's your ally's turn, they restore 5% of their max HP. On the other hand, whenever it's nighttime, you increase your final damage by 30%, while enemies increase their final damage by 15%. This means that nighttime is when you're at the highest risk of dying, while daytime is when you're the quote-unquote safest. However, this is where I do end up having a bit of a problem. Whenever you pick a golden boon, it's gonna buff your character during that specific time frame, as mentioned before. But if you pick daytime, now you have strength both in the night and the day, and you of course lose the health benefits of day, right? But you still do damage. And I feel like more often than not, when you're running the Divergent Universe, you are trying to clear enemies as fast as possible when you go to higher threshold protocols, because those guys have way too much health, have an abusive amount of health. Here's where I have my issue. I love running nighttime, and nighttime has been really enjoyable as a whole because I like the fact that I can scale HP and become like this massive beat stick to hit enemies with. I don't feel like I have that build online until I get rid of the daytime. Anytime that I am running a night build and it becomes day, my damage disappears. My damage is non-existent, and I feel like I suffer. However, something that I do enjoy has been the addition of the harmony. In this new Divergent Universe, we now have access to the blessings of the harmony, which for some reason are focused on Super Break. Not that I'm complaining, because after all, I am one of the people that really enjoy the playstyle that Super Break has to offer. I made a whole video as to why I believe that Fugue is fundamentally broken and why I adore her E2. Back on topic though, I do genuinely believe that the harmony is the most powerful blessing path that there is in the game right now. It's either the harmony or the erudition, because a lot of the enemies in this particular Divergent Universe just love to summon enemies. Like, looking at the Plane 2 bosses, we have characters like Argenti, the Swarm Disaster Bugs, and even the Ebon Deer. Those are the three that like I immediately remember, and all of them love to summon little underlings to beat the hell out of you. In the third plane, you have characters like Hule, the Banana Advisors, you have Cirrus, and there's a fourth enemy who is escaping my mind right now, but also loves to just summon a lot of enemies, which makes things really annoying. Because of this, the Brain in a Vat buff is one that I'm always looking for because I do feel like I need to do a lot of damage to deal with enemies. And also, this is why the Herta is way too fucking broken for this. If I had to rank the way that I end up picking blessings for this particular Divergent Universe, I always end up going first and foremost for both Erudition and Harmony, with Destruction coming in third, because they have a lot of defensive buffs that I feel like are very much needed. Especially because, and I forgot to mention this earlier, there is no more preservation or abundance. A lot of the healing and safety that you will get during this game mode comes from both destruction and somehow from the remembrance. Not that I'm complaining, because I do need to survive, but it feels weird. That also leads me now to the next topic that I want to talk about, which is gameplay adjustments. I'm not sure how else to like describe this segment, but just they nerfed a lot of things. And when I mean like a lot of things, I mean like a lot of the curios used to be so much more powerful. And now they are just a husk of their former selves. In particular, the by any means necessary curio got absolutely gutted. This curio went from giving you 30, 60, or 300 cosmic fragments based on the rarity of the curio that you obtained, to now giving you 20, 40, or, wait for it, 120 cosmic fragments. They obliterated my boy. The main thing is, as a whole, they reduced the amount of cosmic fragments that you are gonna be able to get throughout your runs. Every single curio that used to give cosmic fragments just gives a lot less than what I'm used to. It's still good, and you can still quote-unquote break the game with it, but it doesn't feel the same as it used to before. And speaking of breaking the game, that is the other thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to gameplay adjustments. Because they nerfed a lot of things, I feel like the game has become a lot more fair and balanced in a good way. I do miss the fact that I can no longer giga break the game to the point of just making it be very absurd and silly like I have been for past runs in the human comedy. Like, I still get to be broken from time to time, but I feel like I'm now a lot more reliant than I was in getting the 3-star equations online. If I had to use an example of something that I've done recently to prove the point, is that when I was playing in Threshold Protocol 6, I actually had a run where I was able to get every single blessing in the game. I managed to empty out Screwlum's shop, and I felt bad because I'm like, wait, did I actually got all 144 blessings in the game? And apparently, yes, I did. And that was concerning. Yet, I still wasn't able to one-tap enemies or deal huge amounts of damage. I was surviving and being reliably comfortable. As a matter of fact, I literally ended up beating the final boss with only Mydei, which was really funny. As a whole, I just enjoyed seeing him lose and regenerate HP infinitely. He absolutely destroyed the final boss, but it wasn't that huge obliteration that I feel like I would have gotten in the human comedy, because I was struggling a little bit. Like, there were moments where I thought that he might die, but then I remember, oh, it is Mydei, so he is probably gonna be okay. He never truly ended up dying, but it was still very close to, you know, losing the buff of the Vendetta state. And I feel like that is something that I do enjoy seeing as, like, content creation for the game. I want to see more of this gameplay where you cannot obliterate the whole balance of the game. I miss it, but it's not necessary. With all that being said, this does bring me to my final topic, which is I want to talk about the Threshold protocols and my love-hate relationship with them. Throughout this entire video, I have mentioned how there have been probably a lot of opinions of mine that are skewed because of me trying to do the harder difficulties within the Divergent Universe and the whole Threshold Protocol thing. I was able to get the Inorganic General title for bragging rights, and that journey was intriguing. I am all in for harder content, but my god, some of these runs did feel a little bit miserable. I felt like I was losing my mind, especially fighting against the second plane bosses. I genuinely believe that the final boss of the Threshold protocols at higher levels is not the final boss. It's whoever you encounter at the second plane. Whether it be Argenti, the Ebon Deer, or the True Stings. If you are able to get past them, you are going to win your run. because they are just that powerful. And you encounter them when you are yet to finish your build, which I feel like is the main issue that I have whenever I go against them. If I recall correctly, when you encounter them, you should be at like a whole set of golden boons completed. Like whatever you picked as your first golden boon, you already have the level 3. And additionally, you also have a level 1 golden boon of your second Crisis Heir, which, you know, usually it's going to be of the same time zone that you're currently working in. And I don't know, I just feel like it was rough. And like, I don't know how else to put it. It was rough. Actually, no, I do have a way to put it. Look at my Mydei's health. He went from 17k to 0 in a singular hit. And mind you, Argenti was in his phase 2, not even phase 3. Here's the thing though. I know for a fact my Mydei is not properly built because he is in the build provided by the Divergent Universe itself, because I haven't farmed anything for him. I just love using him. At the same time, I didn't expect him to get deleted like I would delete an enemy in pure fiction. I finally understand what it feels to be a regular guy. Like you appear into the field and suddenly you cease to exist. I got NPC'd. And you know, like at this point, I would be fine with the difficulty. You know, because like I understand it's like endgame content. It is meant to be hard. But do tell me, why did they have to add MMR into this freaking game mode? Because winning once wasn't enough. You need to get these cognoculi or whatever they're called at the screen whenever you're about to go into Conundrum. And it tells you, hey, if you lose a match, not a match, I'm literally getting sucked into the concept of the freaking MMR. But yeah, no, like if you lose a run of Divergent Universe, well, you're gonna lose one of your cognoculi, and you need X amount of cognoculi in order to ascend to the next difficulty. Which, to be fair, right? Going from like thresholds 1 to 5, you are placed in a spot where you just need to win one time. For some reason, though, in difficulty 6, they said, oh hey, we're gonna start you off at 0, and then you need to win 4 times. Meaning that in order to reach the final level, or better, it's not the final level, but like the final title, you need to win 4 times in a row. Not even 4 times, period, in a row. And I struggled a lot with it. I lost once, thankfully, so I didn't get to go insane. But I still needed to beat that final difficulty 5 times in order to earn the title. Again, I love being able to be rewarded with the highest difficulties in the game to get a reward not many other players will have, but that was abusive. I still love the way that this Divergent Universe has been designed, but my goodness me, I didn't have to suffer this much. This is how you can tell that I am the most insane type of gamer. Because even though I was literally bent over backwards by the game when it told me, no, you are the random NPC now, I still want to play more of it. I do hate that one of the runs that I did took me an hour and a half to complete. That was one of the days that I really detested this game. But excluding that experience, no, I love this. I genuinely adore this game mode so much. But yeah, I feel like I've yapped for far too long during this video. And I know that I probably repeated myself a couple of times. I haven't made a video in forever, and I need to get back into the groove of things. And I will, I promise. I have had a couple ideas cooking up while I've been gone. Oh yeah, for those that might be new to this channel and this might be like your first video of me. I had been trying to upload videos once a week, but then college got a little bit too annoying and too busy. In particular because I had to do a lot of group projects, and although my group members are cool, they're great, I genuinely adore working with them, being able to time manage has been a bit rough. I still do enjoy making videos, and I love being able to communicate with you guys in the comments. As always, I'll always try to reply to every single comment that you guys leave. That's one of the things that I do love about having this quote-unquote small community. Like 4K is not small in any way, shape, or form, but the fact that we made it here blows my mind, and it's still a range of people that I'm still being able to communicate in the comments, which brings me so much happiness and joy. Being able to hear from you guys, what your guys' takes are on these video games is great, and I love the fact that we can agree to disagree whenever we're working on these things. I don't know, it's lovely, it's wonderful. It makes me happy and feel lucky that I have this community. So yeah, leave down in the comments what you guys think about the Protean hero. What kind of changes would you guys do if you were able to make some? And oh, I almost forgot. The day that this video is coming out will mark 500 days since we last had a Seele banner, meaning that she is the founding member of the 500 Day Club. I feel so bad for Seele, but I did see bits and pieces of the live stream, and from my understanding, she's going into that pseudo, like, 50-50 loss banner thingy. Well, not an actual banner, but like, you know, if you lose your 50-50 in the limited banner, you have a chance of now getting Blade, Fushuen, or Seele. So I'm gonna hope that I get some of them, because having Eidolons for them might be kind of nice. Also, that's the reason why Seele is in this video, being the main DPS. I kind of just wanted to pop off and use her because it would be funny. That is when I learned that apparently that DOT day buff is really bad for Seele. Because if the buff kills the enemy on Seele's turn, it doesn't count for Seele's repeated like turn passive thingy. So the more you know. Anyways, I have yapped way too much. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day, night, morning, whatever time zone you're currently watching this video at, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.